Greetings, everybody. Rodamont here. Thank you for tuning in to Mistpaw Ravine. Episode 5, Expanding Our Industries. So we are a little behind on wood, and the sawmill only costs 5, so let's get another sawmill in here. Try to ramp up our plank production so that we have more flexibility of what we're building. We're getting somewhat close to that 1500 mark, especially all the relics that we've been uncovering that are mana relics. They help out a lot. Oh, I missed this one. Time Traveler. After sending this relic to the capital, a cat appeared in its place. They claimed to be from the future, but had originally been from the past. That was before and after they arrived in the present, which is now. A second, identical cat appeared, thanked us for detaining the first cat, and then they both vanished. A pile of food was later found at the scene. No one could agree if it came from the past or the future. It definitely wasn't there from the present, which is no longer now. Yep, well, you know, just a little bit of paradox, just forcing to scratch your head. No problem. Good, more mana relics. So we're getting really close to that 1.5k marker. And we fell behind on wood to plank production because of all the relics we've been finding. Each reliquary is 5 planks, and it's just like a lot of planks to keep up with. But we have pushed back this heavy mist. So the whole southern border is like more protected now, which is great. So I'm moving the workers east, and here, this little section could be cleaned up at some point. Just have to make sure that I don't have any blind spots where we are losing ground. Alright, gloom is over. Good. And that second sawmill has helped out a lot. We're not lacking planks like we were before. And we did lose where I intended to set up our new power grid, so this is going to need a little bit of attention. Probably more attention than what we're giving the southwest corner. So let's move our dischargers up that way. And push the gloom back, or push the mist back up this corner. Relics. Oh, there it is. Captain, a messenger arrived with this letter from Grogari. It's a drawing of you being struck by lightning. And I think these are stink lines coming from your backside? He really doesn't like you, does he? I don't stink. Captain, I don't think our cats can take another hit like that. Our builders have drawn up plans for a lightning rod to protect us from Grogari's tantrums. We should make building it our top priority. I agree. That loser is, well, a pain in the butt. And we will build it. Yes, yeah, we have 30 zapped cats. That's a lot. That's half our population got electrocuted just now. And then he also crapped on us too? Like, not cool, dude. Poop lightning. So once the vent pump is built, I'll build the lightning rod. So let's look at the priorities here. These are the lowest. Okay, yeah, I think this is right. Ooh, a non-mana relic. Oh, and there it's gone. Cat's clear. Right here. I'll get it later, once they clear it. Oh my god, this zapping our movement speed is just absolutely destroyed. So the vent pump is getting built. And then we'll enchant it for the upgraded version. That should help with it a little bit with the power and everything. So this is going to generate mist for us once connected to the grid. So I'm going to keep it off for now, but once connected to the grid, it will generate mist for us, so we don't have to rely as heavily on manual mist collection. These old school methods, which are just like very labor reliant. So here's another choice. The egg-shaped relic you find before you is warm to the touch, as if it once a once mighty flame rages within. Despite its age, it's obviously a weakened state. Mana still wafts gently off of it. So we can warm the egg, which generates mana, or break it down into mana. So a periodic production of mana, or like a windfall of mana. You want to keep the egg. Okay. Let's move it somewhere safe. Excellent. And it looks like we now have advanced power. Alright, with the advanced power, I'm going to hook up the aquatic ink vents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And once the lightning rod is done being built, these will be the next projects. Just the lightning rod comes first, because, I mean, Grogari has been very mean. And I think we need to... Oh, you know what? Oh, the lightning rod's built. Okay. So, with the lightning rod built, let's prioritize the pumps first and then the power production. Although, with that said, the pumps will require power. So, it's kind of like chicken and the egg. But we can turn things off in order to, like, afford it temporarily. Not a big deal. Alright, another thing we're going to need up there is the... I'll just move this pylon to here. Okay. We are... I'll pause this sawmill. And I'm going to pause the other ink spouts. For the start, we'll just focus on one ink spout. And there you go. That is generating gloom on purpose, for the purpose of power. But not so close to, like, anywhere else that it's going to harm anyone. And then once we have these aquatic ink power generators, they will generate 20 powers apiece. So I'll do 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120 power using 15 power. And some ink that we have lots of. So, all in all, pretty good deal, I think. And the caveat is it requires a lot of crystals to run, but, like, you know, we're getting those. All right. First one's going in. Sweet. And now that we have the excess power, I can run the other ink spouts. And then as we have more and more and more power available to us, I'll just ramp down the old wood power generators. In fact, I'm just going to pause the wood power generators and put them up here. Oh, well, we need that one running for now. But soon we won't. Now, paired with this, we ought to get the... A battery wouldn't be a bad call to deal with the, like, fluctuating power. But what I really wanted with it was the gloom shield. Where's the gloom shield again? Because the workers up in this corner... So here's the gloom shield. The workers up in this corner are going to need protection from the gloom. So the gloom shield will also require power, but anyone working on the gloom will be protected from it, and I'll also try to get a gloom shield up here as well for the workers working up this way. And what that will do for us is cats that work in gloomed areas won't get sick as frequently, which is going to be a really nice boon, I think. Kath, thank you for the resub, and yeah, it has been a while. It's been a minute, man. Alright, this one can turn off. And I'll move the old wood generator to be phased out as well. Oh, yep, it can phase out now. Boop. So now we are generating our power from ink, not from wood. Which means that our wood shortage will be resolved, right? We won't have to grow nearly as much wood to burn for power. We can just make it into planks, which is way easier. And these guys can make 27 ink. So we have what? 4... 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So yeah, this is the right ratio. Because any larger than this, they couldn't make another one, so I would need another spout. Which we can always do. Oh, we get a free gloom shield. Okay. I'm gonna pause, and let's hook this up here. Actually, I want to put it right here. So I'm gonna get rid of that tree. And then this probably doesn't have power, so let's power that up. This will protect the lumberjacks from getting hurt in this area. And the gloom shields themselves will require power to run, 5 power each. Which isn't too bad of a cost. There we go. Prevents cats in range from contracting gloom sickness, prevents gloom spores from growing in range. So we'll also stop the gloom spores from landing in that area, which if you can get enough shields, that can obviously be a very powerful tool to prevent the gloom storms from messing with you too badly. Man, I can't believe how much sawmill I need run. Like, I'm gonna have to build another one. The amount of planks that my cats are requiring is an immense sum. Oh, Avaka, this didn't win. I just chose it for myself. Because I enjoy it. It's releasing soon. It's a fun game. Why not cover it, right? Next unlock is Catnip. That's the last of Tier 4. And Catnip allows us to take rads and ink and turn it into catnip. And then to have a tower, sprinkle catnip on all our cats for happiness. Yeah, like that could never go wrong. So once we, because I know I'm over my power max right now. Once we have a little bit more power available to us, I will, I'll nip some cat or whatever you want to call it. So where do I get the power right now? What do I want to do? What do I want to turn off? Because I'm exceeding. You know what? I'll just turn on a wood generator for now to cover the requirements until we get the Aquatic ink power generators up and running. Cool. When in doubt, drug everyone in compliance. What is this, Frostpunk? And by that I mean yes. It sounds like Frostpunk, and not in a bad way. So the other thing that we could do is, now that we have a gloom shroud here, it'll be a little bit easier for a mist collector to work in the northeast without dying from or getting sick constantly. That's one of the big benefits of the gloom shroud. So there will be less of a burden on our clerics. And that one's up. We're getting shielded. Cool. I'm gonna make the remaining ink gens the highest priority, so we can really phase out the wood, because as you can see, I don't have a lot of wood, I don't have a lot of crystal. All the new infrastructure projects have really hurt us. The reason why I like these aquatic ink generators is, like, the amount of power it produces for its inputs is very well balanced. It's because you don't have workers there or anything like that. So it's very easy to generate a lot of power without a lot of man or cat power. Almost time to farm gloom again. Yep. The storm's about to start. We have some shields that will protect us a little bit, but not a lot. So we'll see. Here's the storm, and it's a 13-minute storm. Longer than we've seen before, I think. Which is fine. So I'll keep an eye out for areas on the map that, oh, like this one. Oh god. Move. And areas of the map where we are losing ground, so I can make adjustments before land is lost. I have a lot of unassigned workers. I have 10 extra power. Oh, nope. Dude, what happened? Oh, that stopped getting covered. Got it. A supply problem. Yeah, as far as, like, advanced resources go, I think what we're probably going to want is another hauling station. Because we're running into a problem where I think supply and demand is not being met quick enough, because we don't have enough dedicated haulers. So I'm going to get another dedicated enchanted hauler up to help out. Bye-bye wood. We may also want to consider irrigating another section of stuff for another forest or two. Once things calm down a little bit, I'll consider that. Because we could do, like, forestry around here with pretty low effort for high yields. So it looks like our tree cutters are cutting down a reasonable amount of trees, and we're still not really in a net positive type situation, it seems. So that could be useful to invest in, too. Which means, if I'm going to do that, we would want probably a purifier sprout. And then the purifier sprouts, for me to get my best bang for the buck out of it, we'll want to do some landscaping. This is just like sort of pseudo prototyped. I don't know exactly if that's how I want to lay it out, but we'll see. Okay. The new hauler is done. Getting it enchanted so they move even faster. Staffing it, and that should help out a lot as well. So you can tell that the broom types, the enchanted haulers have these like twisted vine brooms, and they move considerably faster. So now the bottleneck is the lack of crushed crystals. So I'm going to pause the enchanted crystal mason for a bit so we can amass crushed crystals, and then maybe just go ahead and mine more of it. So I'll have up to 5 miners. That should help. Hopefully. Now we're in a real power positive type situation. Even when this last aquatic ink generator runs out of ink and it drops because it fluctuates a little bit, the supply. Alright, 50 extra power. That's pretty nice. So the current problem to solve, I would say, is the lack of wood. The good news is wood is not a fuel that we're using to survive now. Wood is just a building resource that if we run out of, it's like not a deadly problem. So I'm working on a new forester over here. It's just taking a minute. And for that, we're going to want... Yeah, so the purifier spout, and that requires 20 wood. So in order to solve our wood problem, we need wood to begin with, which is a bit of a nuisance. I'll also put the town hall down here. Just putting it down here will allow us, the town hall, to power up this spout rather than having to do a new pylon or something like that. The other issue I see is it looks like our woodcutters are filling up the internal storage with gloom wood. And they're not cutting down regular trees because they don't have anywhere to put the gloom wood. I think that is also going to be solved. Temporarily... This is a weird way to solve it, but what I could do is I can delete their wood collection spots to just leave the gloom wood on the ground, and then build 3 new woodcutters, because the woodcutters themselves don't actually require resources. Build new woodcutters to then fix that. It'd be better to fix it systemically rather than like these weird one-off quick fixes. But I can think about that for the future of like, do we want to use more gloom wood for something to generate power that way, or I don't know. Some sort of solution to that bottlenecking problem, or have more storage for it or something like that. But it's mostly solved for now. These woodcutters are harvesting trees, not gloom, so that they aren't getting full. Oh my god, we're getting relics like crazy. Alright, looks like the river for the forester is done. As you can see, it's a little zigzag. The idea that I had was like, I'd put a physical forester here, maybe the growth booster there, and then like call it good. Still at it, nerd? Growing a little settlement? Trying to be the best? Better than me? Well then, hope you're ready for another round of Grogari's delicious lightning, because that's what's happening right now. Hit us with everything you got, Grogari. Sup, nerd. Let's see how Grogari likes the taste of his own delicious lightning. That redirected blast should get him to leave us alone. And it looks like the lightning rod has gotten supercharged. I should send Grogari a letter of thanks, along with a not-so-flattering portrait, of course. So, yeah, this thing now generates power for us. Thanks, Grogari, for, you know, like, being a bruh and sending us free power. Nipped. It's hard to believe, but our experts claim this relic is filled with catnip. We haven't been able to separate them from it thus far, so we feel inclined to believe them. So we can, 1, politely yet forcefully remove them from the catnip within to gain 50 catnip, or keep it and display it amongst the workers as a yarn statue. One of the things I was intending to do, now that our power situation is solved, is to push the catnip. So I'll be making catnip soon anyway. But it looks like you guys want the yarn statue. So I'll put a yarn statue here, I guess. Sweet. Alright, catnip time, right? So here's a catnip mill. Put it here. I don't really have the raw resources for this, because we're still solving the whole, like, we don't have wood issue. It's almost to the point where, I'm gonna do this. This is a bit extreme, but because we are not actively using the gloom, I'm gonna remove it so that we don't accidentally collect it and fill our internal storages with, like, the wrong wood. And then the other thing I could do is to fill the ravines here so that the gloom from these rivers leak less far to the west, potentially irrigating this for regular trees. So we'll see about that. But obviously this is being solved a different way with another forestry in the bottom left too. So we're approaching the problem from 2 different angles. I'm also, like, out of ink. So let's get another ink extractor. And then put a, 2 of the mist dischargers next to it so we don't lose access to it. Because, yeah, we're running out of ink, and that's going to be a problem for a lot of reasons. So, highest priority now. Alright, this is, closing in on being built. And then these woodcutters, oops. These woodcutters don't have a lot of gloom wood in their internal storages, which means that they won't fill up with the wrong kind of wood, which is good. So some of these trees can be cut, but as long as we, like, periodically use gloom as a resource, or I just keep an eye on it, it shouldn't be a big problem. And clogging up those rivers did exactly what I thought it would do. It allows us to expand our regular trees a little bit, because we pushed the gloom back in this area. It's possible that with enough discharges I can push it even farther. Okay, good. The second ink extractor is getting built now. And we're gonna enchant it. You know, it might. Yeah, I'm gonna do it this way. I think this will work better. I'm gonna remove 3 rads from here, and then move the woodcutters to, like, this area, which does not overlap any of the gloom trees. So these 3 woodcutters, like, have nothing but regular trees to cut down, and they all cover the sphere of influence of the forestry up here, so that it's, like, a little foolproof. Nice. Alright, so we got our second enchanted ink extractor. That should help out a lot with a lot of the bottlenecks that we had going on. And then we can focus back on the catnip mill. And then maybe the purifier spout eventually. We might want a gloom shield up here in the northeast, now that we're, like, using this terrain more. And I'm also going to try to, like, shut down the gloom from this area, because we have, like, a dedicated gloom area, so if I wanted gloom trees, I could grow them over here. The fight against the gloom. And, I'm gonna enable the, like, mist production for down here now. Because I have the power for it. So that way we're, like, collecting mist and ink in sort of a more automated way, so I don't really... it's more of a set and forget than we had before. And then this pylon can fuel up a crystal mine if and when we want a crystal mine, like a dedicated one, the deep mines. So we might want a deep mine here eventually, but there's still enough, like, surface crystal that I don't need that at the moment. So many relics. So a lot of the old reliquaries that we queued up are actually they're taking form now because we have a influx of wood from the fixed wood farms that we had going on. We're getting all these relics coming all at once. Oh, shoot! The mist came back. Enchanted catnip mill. Nice. And then this one is an enchanted fuel power generator, which we don't use anymore. Would be cool, but yeah, we don't need it. You can see the fight to keep the mist at bay is like it can be a lot. Just constantly looking around to make sure that we're like winning it. Glance away and it's just like, oh nope, sorry, you got enveloped. All right, so our forester is set. So all we really need now is the planks, and the planks need the wood. But once we have the wood and the planks, we'll be able to get another forester going, which is going to be really helpful. Remember when I shot lightning at you and you redirected it back and destroyed my house? That was messed up. I'm done with you. I'll be making sure that my grandkids dedicate their lives to destroying your grandkids. Just a heads up. Later, nerd. See you never, Grogari. So up here, there's 2 more ink nodes. So if we find ourselves low on ink, we can try to push the mist back in this spot and get 2 more of the enchanted ink extractors. If and when it's necessary. And I know, I haven't yet done the catnip mill. We're going to focus on the purifier spout so that I can grow the trees a bit better. But we're doing a pretty solid job on pushing all the mist back where it needs to be pushed. Six more planks, and we'll be able to actually grow a lot more wood. Thank you for tuning in to Mistpaw Ravine, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I'll have to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow magical cats.